It has started hailing on us now. What's up, everybody? It's Mike with Happy Hendrix here, and we're going to be going over Tin Cup Pass in Colorado today. So come along for the adventure. It's going to be a good one. Let's get to it. I overnighted on the St. Elmo side of Tin Cup Pass in Colorado. Bongo needed some maintenance, so with fresh oil, new air filter, and making sure all the nuts and bolts were tight, we headed out for the trail. Trail starts off relatively easy. It's basically an unmaintained dirt road, and it looked to be quite easy. I made the initial mistake of thinking it was only 6 miles when it's actually 13 in total. There were some signs of moisture, like a storm had been through. I didn't know that we were heading into a storm, and so it did become interesting later on. Unfortunately, as I had mentioned, a storm did move in on us, so this was the only drone footage I was able to get throughout the entire trail, which was a disappointment because it is truly beautiful going through Tin Cup Pass. We saw a variety of individuals on the trail that day. Everybody was out enjoying their time. Eventually we came to this section, and I thought it was pretty interesting. They had cut down the logs to cross this soft part of the trail where a stream or some sort of spring ran through. And I was curious how the power wagon would do, because the logs weren't secured, and with the current weight of the vehicle for the trip, we're pushing close to 9,600 pounds, and I was slightly concerned how this would handle the weight of the truck. The noise you hear here, that is not the bridge. That is the wind picking up for the storm that's coming. All right, well, sorry about the break in the action there, but it has started hailing on us now. So camera is now inside for sure, and I guess we're gonna go wheel through this trail in the rain and the hail. So yeah. Eventually the storm went away, the sun came out, and the trail started to dry up once again. only issue I saw with Tin Cup was there was a lot of rocks that could cause damage to the sidewall of a tire, leaving a person stranded or at least temporarily displaced while they repaired the damage.
See that black?
The trail switches back from basically unmaintained dirt roads to small rock gardens where you could go through fast if you wanted to, but it would just abuse your vehicle, so it's okay to take your time and just enjoy the scenery. Eventually, we worked our way out of the woods, and we could see that the trail kept going up and up and up. So we proceeded forward in the power wagon. Eventually, to get to the Continental Divide, you have to climb a narrow shelf road. And the concern with the shelf road wasn't necessarily the stability of the truck, but what if we ran into somebody coming the opposite way? There was no way to get around, there was no way to turn around. Either we would have to back down the shelf road, or they would have to back up the shelf road. I did a quick flyby of the Continental Divide sign. There were several vehicles up here. It looked like they were shooting some content. They had quite the setup going, so I just kept on going through, not to disturb them or what they were doing. As you come down the Tin Cup side of the Tin Cup Pass Trail, this is the more technical side, featuring more rocks and steeper climbs. But luckily we were going downhill, and all the power wagon had to do was safely slide down the obstacles and get to the end of the trail. As you come back down from elevation, the trail weaves in and out of the trees into open areas, from unpaved road to mild rock gardens, eventually leading to a lake and the exit of the trail. A lake which I was slightly concerned about, as some locals told me that I was going to have to drive through the lake, and the lake was 3 to 5 feet deep, which, once I got there, I realized they might have been pulling my leg, because there was a small stream crossing only, and then a narrow road alongside the lake before you're back out into basically unmaintained roads. Then with a splash, you enter the town of Tin Cup, and thus ends the trail. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. If you could do us a favor, give us a like and a subscribe, leave a comment. It really helps us out. Thanks everyone. We'll see you on the next one.